Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf, everybody. Today we're hot off the heels of playing Pokemon. I do this every real once in a while where I'll switch games during a stream. Usually when I stream, I just do one game that day, but I didn't do anything over the weekend, so today I'm hitting you all at once with everything. Let's see. All right, I see we have no money. From Dad. How you doing? Ooh. We'll have to buy a watering can, or our flowers would die. Oh, you know I'm rocking the Metroid helmet. He got a new comic book while we were gone. Okay. He seems pretty excited about it. Let's see. Nope. Really? Oh, snap. I don't remember off the top of my head what the jewels are for. We haven't been gone that long for there to be this many weeds. I want to say they were used to build something. Our lemons are coming in nicely. Nice. The jewels are just to sell. This will be where our orchard is. That's what you do with them anyway. Well, I mean, yeah, I honestly can't think of any other use for them. Especially a use that we would care about. Oh, they can be used to customize the furniture. Okay. Create a random piece of furniture from the golden series or the golden series using the 3 gold. Oh. Well, there you go. I think for our purposes, we'll just keep selling them. Chief! How dare you? Where have I been? I've been busy. That's where I've been. It's Jurassic June and Pride Month. I got a lot of content to create, young lady, young man, young sir. One of the other. Well, I don't know. It could be and be. I wonder if I'll ever see non-binary folk in Animal Crossing. I did see that Nintendo changed gender to style for the Mii's for the Switch 2, which I think is a great move forward. Of course, you know, the Chuds lost their shit over it. Of course, I think they're addicted to outrage at this point. I don't think there's anything they won't rage over. Bob. I don't know if I've ever seen Bob in person. Oh, this is a new villager too. Chops! I don't remember meeting Chops. You remember me? Oh, okay. We haven't met before. Nice to meet you, Chops. Uh-oh. Sounds like there's a villager upset somewhere. Oh no, why so gloomy? No, don't be sad. Oh. Not to pry into what you've been doing. Well, I'm not sure if they still are going with non-binary. I've heard it might be like gender fluid at this point. Basically, the way that works is that in society, you have a person's sex and then you have a person's gender or gender identity. Now, sex is something that is for more or less binary. You're born with one of two sets of genitalia, and for throughout human history, 99% of humans have conformed to dress, talk, act a certain way based on their sexual, the sex assigned at birth. What I'm saying is, like, if you're born a man or you're born a male, you would typically grow up wearing men's clothing. Maybe you'll have a beard, you speak deep, you don't wear purses and dresses and makeup. You're a man. And then the same with women. If you're born as a woman, then you would dress as such and act as such. However, there are some people who might not feel comfortable just conforming to one or the other. There are people who feel like they might be both or neither. And that's what you would call gender fluid or gender neutral. You could totally be a man that wears dresses and wears a purse and does your nails and wears high heels. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, society is still having a very hard time accepting that fact because it's not, quote unquote, a societal norm. It's not the way that society has functioned globally up until now. So it's one of those things where people are trying to get people to understand that. And, you have a lot of holdouts. You have people who go kicking and screaming into the future, They're not hurting anybody. They're not out to mess with your kids. They're not out to do anything nefarious. It's just people trying to live their best life. People who are trying to be comfortable in their own skin. And other people are upsetty spaghetti about that. So basically, that's where the pronoun stuff comes in. That's where the gender identity stuff comes in. It's totally not complicated. It's not hard to understand. You literally just have to change very minute things about the way that you speak and address people. And it's funny because getting hair plugs is what's known as a gender affirming surgery. Getting a boob job for a woman is gender affirming surgery. I think they have a problem with the word affirming and understanding that anything you do to your body would be an affirming. So, it's one of those things where people just look at what they want to look at. Oh my God, that man cut his dick off and now he's walking around saying he's a woman. That is so perverted and stupid. Well, and so ignorant of you. You're kind of being a terrible, trashy human being, but go off, sis. No, it's honestly not complicated. People will say it's complicated because it challenges their ideas of normal, and humans don't like that. Humans typically don't like thinking about anything outside of the norm of what the realm of what they consider normal. They really, really don't. especially the older you are. You know, the older you are, the more set in your ways you are. Um, Hell, think about how hard it is to change your diet or sleeping habits. Think about how hard it is just to change routines in general. Humans are very much creatures of habit, and that's the same for your mentality, you know. Let's say that you peel your onions a certain way for 80 years, and then overnight somebody's like, well, I don't want you to peel onions that way anymore. I want you to peel them this way. You'd have a real hard time learning to adjust to peeling your onions another way. Now, of course, that's not the best analogy in the world because you can peel onions any damn way you want to. But I think you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying, you know. It's yeah, and that's the thing about it too. Like, people who are opposed to that kind to the, you know, this way of thinking are generally more obsessed with it than anybody else. It's the same with, like, and this is a joke that I see a lot on the internet, but like, straight men are awfully obsessed with not only their penises but the penises of their friends too, despite being straight men. That's that's a very good example. Um, that's always just one of those things, you know. I would say at the end of the day, the most important thing is to try to understand. Oh, I don't have any money. That's one of the best traits you can have, you know? Like, even outside of anything in this conversation that I've said today, just in a vacuum, knowledge and trying to understand something is critically important. Not only to you as an individual, but to us as a society. Because ignorance does a lot of damage. And I mean a lot of damage. But, those who slip are often just given a chance to appreciate the ground. Oh, it's going to be the banana, isn't it? Let's see. I got a lucky ticket. I told you, triple bananas. Yeah, ignorance, egoism, narcissism. Is egoism the word? Oh, snap, look. A lot of progress in society is unfortunately made very slowly and one generation at a time. You typically see things change over 1 to 2 generations at a time. So just think about it this way: in 100 years, society will be a lot better. Hopefully, it'll be a lot better off. We can hope. Yeah, I would say that if you want to continue to do the streaming, you're going to need a PC. Like, that's just the base of where you start. Don't even worry about lights and cameras and microphones. Unless you got a decent PC to run the stuff, run the equipment, you just can't. And that, I see so many streamers who crash out because they're trying to use laptops. Don't. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Some people use laptops to stream and do it just fine, but get a PC. For the love of God, get a PC. See? Yeah, you need a PC. I know some people can stream with the MacBooks. I don't like Apple, but I will say that MacBooks are at least somewhat quality. A lot of people swear by them. I'm never going to endorse Apple, obviously, but if you insist on a laptop, maybe a MacBook. I don't know. I really don't know that much about laptops. I just don't. Any laptop that I've ever owned was a hand-me-down that I couldn't do anything with. I have always kind of mainline PC, and I swear by PC, you know. I am PC and Android all the way. It says fossil. Well, Apple's got a lot of shady business practices, not to mention they I don't like their OS. I don't like the fact that you can't customize a lot of stuff. I don't like the fact that the iPhone, everybody thinks this iPhone is God. I don't like the operating system on the iPhone. I think that it's overpriced. I think that what you're buying is the brand name and you're not actually paying for the equipment itself. I think that they upcharge to the nth degree, and I think that that's wrong. I don't have a spreadsheet in front of me that I can list off every little thing that Apple's done wrong, but just based on cultural osmosis, I know that they're not exactly the best company to align yourself with. And like I said, I like the fact that Android is more open. You can actually break down Android and build apps for it a lot more easier than you can for Apple, I'm told. Again, I'm not a developer. I don't know. I'm telling you what I've heard. But yeah. And then, of course, for me, there's always the popularity issue that Tyler likes to rag on me for. The more popular something is, the more I'll side-eye it and say, why is this popular? And then I'll look into it, and it'll just be because one celebrity or somebody said that you should buy it, and then it took off. Like those stupid, the Tumblr, what was the name of those stupid Tumblrs that everybody just had to have? What was that? This is a Yeti, and this isn't even mine. I think this is my dad's, and I just needed something to put tea in, and something with a lid so I could do yard work today. I try to do as much yard work as I can so that he didn't have to do it, but competition is okay. And see, and it's like Microsoft. Microsoft has always been kind of king of the operating systems just because everybody uses Windows by default. When a company needs to buy an operating system to put on like 1,000 computers for their call center or whatever, they're going to go with Windows, you know. But it's I don't know. Honestly, at a certain point for me, it became less about the shady shit that Apple done, and it became more about spite. My sister and I have a spite problem. We really have a spite problem. I'm better about it than she is. I know how to reel it in and wrangle it in and control myself. She doesn't, but I do. So like when I saw Android came out first, and I remember those Android commercials in the 2000s, and I thought, oh, that looks really cool. I want to get me one of those fancy cell phones, because we were still in the era of little flip phones that didn't have a screen and whatnot. And I was like, oh, Android, that's cool. And then before I could blink, iPhones were like blowing up and taking off and being super fucking annoying. And out of spite, I was like, that's one thing I'll never have now. I'm Android for life. Just out of spite. But, I don't know. At the end of the day, I guess the short answer for this 20-minute rant was, I just don't want Apple. You don't want to deal with Apple. All right, so we donated the one fossil that was available. That means we get to sell the rest. Yeah, I'm trying to get the other Metroid. Trying Trying to get the other Metroid clothing items. Metroid. Honestly, the only real answer you need as to why you shouldn't deal with Apple is the fact that they are very particular about you can't change anything with your iPhone. You don't own your iPhone. You can't install what you want. I remember back in the day how pissed off I was over iPods. I fucking hated iPods. I hated them with a passion because I remember I got my hands on a hand-me-down iPod from somebody and I connected it up to my computer and I was like, why can't I just drag and drop my MP3 files? Why do I need iTunes or whatever the fuck it was in the early days? I was like, why do I need an extra program I can drag and drop on any other device? Why can't I drag and drop here? And then music stopped being about buying CDs in the store and it became all about streaming them online. And I was like, I'm not paying for this. You're an idiot if you pay for streaming. And this is pre-streaming TV services. You know, this was in the streaming, iTunes, Spotify, all that. I was like, yeah, you're an idiot if you pay for this. Because back in the late 90s and early 2000s, we would use LimeWire and torrents and we would download all our music because it was easier than going to the store and buying one CD that only had one or two songs you liked on it. You were literally wasting money. It has always been better to just buy the one song, the one hit wonder that you want. Of course, at this point, I just rip everything from YouTube. There are music snobs that'll say, well, I hear the difference. I can hear the compression from YouTube. I don't. My boomer ears can't tell the difference. Like, let's say I wanted something like, I don't know. Let's say I wanted a Nirvana song and I want to put it on my phone. Instead of paying for a streaming service that needs an internet connection, I go to YouTube and I type in Nirvana, Nevermind, HD, and I look for an HD copy. And then I go to a YouTube ripper and then I rip that song. You shouldn't be admitting to all your illegal crimes on the internet. You can go fuck yourself, one commenter. I got that comment the other day. Fuck off. Everybody does this. It's not a secret. I don't listen to new music anyway, so it would really be a waste for me to pay for streaming services, you know? See? You agree? Yeah, sometimes you get a YouTube video that's really poor quality, but at this point, you can tell. You can kind of just listen and tell, you know. But it's Win 11 Enterprise. Hardware required there. I mean, I don't know, like, here's the thing with YouTube too, thinking about it, like, I don't even use the YouTube app on my phone because the ads are out of control. Do you remember back when they first started running ads on YouTube years ago? You would get an ad at the beginning of the video, then maybe if you were unlucky, you'd get a mid-roll ad, and that's the only annoyance. Now it's ad, like 2 or 3 ads, your video starts. Less than a minute in, ad. Then you got your mid-roll ads, and you can't skip those. And then after the mid-rolls, you wait another minute, ad. Then wait another minute, ad. And it's just so out of control. And now YouTube has made it, it's now against the terms of service to use an ad blocker, although we all still do. It's just so stupid and out of control. I found out the ad blocker has their own web browser, so I put that on my phone, and if I want to watch YouTube on my phone, I use the ad block web browser, because fuck them. Just fuck them. Sorry. I'm already not a fan of capitalism as it is, so there's no love lost between me and fucking advertising. I'll tell you that right goddamn now. But I would be willing to put up with 1 or 2 ads so that I could, you know, have a free system. Like, I understand you have to pay for services. I understand you have to pay for server costs. I get that advertisement has to exist for me to not have to pay for YouTube. But 52 ads in a 3-minute video? Go to hell. All right, we need to find who this book belongs to. Where did all the villagers go? Hey, buddy. We're not going to be able to do it while he's fishing. We need to find the villagers. Where'd they all go? Yeah. See, I don't want to download every video that I watch, though, so I just rely on the because, you know, I have all these ad blockers on my computer, yeah, but with mobile, you can't really do ad blockers on the YouTube mobile app, so you kind of got to find a way around it. I tried to use ad blockers on Twitch, but that's a little harder to do. Thankfully, I only ever use Twitch to watch one streamer, and I only ever watch their VODs. And the ad blocker works on their VODs. So. They see you have a little bit of money and they're like, buy my crap. She went shopping, overspent, and now she's making it my problem. Well, Rudy, I don't know if Rudy is a boy or a girl. I don't know, I can't tell. I'm assuming it. I don't want to assume, but Rudy, did you drop this book? Yeah, I have NordVPN, and you have to use it for certain things now. You have to use it for torrents, of course, but now if you live in the South, you have to use it for porn sites and others. You know, it's stupid. It makes me wonder what site, you know, what kind of fascist bullshit are they going to roll out next? It's their workout log. Thanks for finding it. Cherry tea. I'm not really in the market for clothes, but if it gets my approval rating up, so be it. Let's go check our approval rating. Well, regardless of how we all feel about it, you know, like personal opinions on that material aside, I'm just saying that it's blocked in some states under the ruse of like protecting the children. I promise children aren't looking at that stuff until they're age appropriate. Nature takes care of itself. Development permanent. Yeah! We're at 100%. Birds. Oh, I got to get another bird feeder set up. Yeah, I had a bird feeder out there and the stupid squirrels wrecked it. They kept knocking it down, chewing the plastic, breaking it. And I looked it up. They make expensive bird feeders that squirrels can't get into, but my broke ass can't afford stuff like that. Then I read that birds can't taste heat or spice. So you can buy spicy bird seed that squirrels hate and won't eat. And the birds will eat it. And we've just been broke and doing paycheck to paycheck. So as soon as I can, I'm going to get me a new bird feeder, and I'm going to get some of that spicy bird seed. Fuck them squirrels. You got your computer all set up? All right, good luck. And like I always say, if you guys are watching this on YouTube in the future, please go over and subscribe to him on Twitch. Wait, it's follow on Twitch, isn't it? Okay. I'm flapping my gums. I didn't even read what she said. Oh, okay. It takes a day. All right. I'm so glad we did Animal Crossing today. Got our permit good to go. Bum bum. Yeah, my final nail in the coffin, and I haven't really talked about this publicly since it happened, and I really don't want to badmouth anybody, but I'll mention it here real quick since it's the topic of discussion for today in both Pokemon's episode and this one. But Omega Metroid did a stream a handful of months ago. They were doing a charity stream for the Trevor Project, which obviously means a lot to me and a lot of other people, you know. I watched their stream. I donated several times. I was in chat. I posted about it on social media, constantly trying to spread awareness of the charity event. I did everything in my power I could to really get that out there. Like, Omega Metroid, that team is doing the charity. And he said that they needed new team members. He needed people to come in and help with the charity events. He said next time we do a charity event, you know, and he said he was going to get in touch with me and several other of the Metroid content creators and whatnot in the community. And he did. He reached out via email, and he's like, I'll reach out via email and tell you guys what I need. And he said in the stream that he needed people to do some speed runs, and that they didn't have enough people to play the games, and they felt very stressed that some people might not be able to participate. Some people from his group or team might not be able to participate. So basically he made it sound like they needed people, you know, they needed gamers, streamers, whatever. And I'm a content creator. I stream on Twitch and YouTube. I make videos, yada, yada, yada. Metroid is obviously our main series. It's what I started my content creation journey with. And I messaged him back and I said, I would love to help out, you know, whatever you need. I can do speed runs. I can, you know, just play through the game. I can give commentary. Somebody else can get the commentary. I can just do the gameplay, whatever you need. He wrote back saying, well, I reserve the gameplay just for my friends. Like I have my in-house people play the games. What I'm more looking for is like people to write articles for the website and what have you. And I said, well, I'm not really good with that. You know, I'm more on the gameplay side of things. I'm not really looking to write articles for the website. I said I can post on social media. He said, well, we've already got that covered. You know, retweets or whatever they're called, reposts, I guess, on Blue Sky, all that's appreciated. But as far as like, you know, all that's covered. So it felt like he had offered something and then took it back. And I didn't like that. It rubbed me the wrong way. And it made me wonder if he did that with everybody he reached out to, or if he just did it to me. I couldn't tell. But I just remember being very, like, not mad. But again, it just rubbed me the wrong way, because you said on stream, I need help. I need people to play. But then when I offered to play, it was like, well, I don't want you to. I want you to do this instead. That was kind of my final nail in the coffin when it comes to working with other people, or trying to do collabs, or trying to rub elbows or hobnob with any other content creators or any other fandoms or communities. From that moment on, I even told Tyler, I was like, look, it's just me and you from now on. I'm not going to have anybody from the Discord on my streams. I'm not going to play games with people in the Discord anymore. I'm just going to focus 110% on my own content creation journey. And I'm just going to be a rogue person out there doing his own thing, because I've constantly been burned over and over on my content journey. You know, I've shouted out people who I've had to part ways with. I've shouted out channels that I've had to, you know, disassociate from. It's always been in my best interest to just focus on doing my own thing, honestly. So, but my desire to help everybody and my desire to not be a narcissist, I want very much to help everybody. I want to lift everybody up. I'm like, oh, you're a streamer too? Advertise on my Discord. Tell everybody you're a streamer. You know, let me repost or retweet or whatever the hell. I'm not on Twitter anymore, but you get what I mean. I'm always about trying to lift everybody up and spread awareness of, oh, this person's a Metroid guy. He does streams. Go watch him. Go watch, please. Or the Jurassic Park side of things. I'm like, oh, I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan, a Jurassic World fan, whatever. You know, there's a whole community over there. Go watch this person. But every time that I do that, it bites me in the ass. And I'm always left just wondering why. What did I do wrong? Why that karma thought, fuck you today, fuck you in particular. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell did I do wrong? Like in real life, even IRL, I don't have that many friends. Like at this point, I don't have any IRL friends left living here that I interact with on a regular basis. They've demoted from friend down to almost acquaintance at this point, and even that slipping away. I got Lewis, and our friendship started out as a parasocial friendship on the internet. Lewis found me, and he's been in my chat now for years. But we've been playing Minecraft recently, and there's a language barrier. He doesn't speak English and I don't speak Spanish, but we can communicate through typing and text and stuff. So we get along just fine, and we're friendly that way. And then there's my best friend, Tyler. We met when we were kids in the 4th grade, and we've been friends as of 2025 for 30 years. And that's about the only, I'm down to 2 people. I've been trying to reclaim some semblance of a relationship with my family over the last couple of years, and my sister specifically, but then she showed her ass the other day and kind of turned me off of wanting to really have anything to do with her specifically. So, you know, not only am I struggling IRL to have people who want anything to do with me, but it seems like every time that I interact with people online, it ends up not working out well for me, unfortunately. So I don't remember how this conversation started. If people show up and they're you know, they're nice and they're also content creators, I'll at least shout them out, you know. And, you know, I put my chat on screen as well. So when these videos go up on YouTube, I obviously leave them up, you know, indefinitely. So people who come to my channel and watch my stuff will see who's in chat, and they'll see the username that you're using in chat. And I'll say, well, this person streams, or this person just rated in. Obviously, go follow that person. You know, it's the least you can do, you know. Repay loan. You're almost 33. You're a youngin'. Well, you're less than a decade younger than me. That's something. We're getting that loan paid off. Thank goodness. Only 46 left. Oh. $7 years. Yeah, B7. All right, we got our loan paid. We did our fossils. We did our fortune cookie of the day. We found our fossils. Now we're free to just kind of dick around for a little bit. Yeah, I've got the Metroid helmet and the jumpsuit. Now I just need the pants and maybe the shoes. And we're finally at 100% approval rating. So you know what that means? It means that when we come back in next time, we'll be able to build bridges, put up fountains, do all that kind of good stuff. We're getting there. We are getting there, folks. We found who the missing book was for. What else can we do today? Besides Jabberjaw. And today was a good day. Sometimes when I do a stream and I end up like ranting, and I don't feel like ranted today. I feel like I was just very talkative today. But sometimes I do a stream and I'll rant, or I'll have a very talkative stream. And I'll look back on it and say, oh, I'm not happy with that stream. I feel like I said something offensive. I feel like I might change my opinion down the road. And you know, I got to learn to get over that. You know what I mean? Like, even if I don't believe something 7 years from now that I said today, or if today I don't believe in something I stood by 7 years ago, whatever it may be, we grow as people, and you have to kind of look at the content in the context of when it was released. I'm definitely trying to be a more positive person and not rant and rave, because I used to rant a lot. Everything used to piss me off. But then again, I used to bury my head into news and be like, and surround myself with terrible news all day, every day. And it's funny because I looked at CNN for the first time in what felt like ages. I looked at it yesterday and I looked at it today. There was not one single solitary positive article to be found. Just Trump crap, war crap, Middle East crap, just all the most negative crap. Something about some shooter in Wyoming, I think. I don't know. Every flipping article on their front page was just like clickbaity rage bait. And I'm just, no. News isn't news anymore. There's rage bait. And not to put on my X-Files cap and get too conspiracy laden, but I think a lot of it is mass produced just for clicks and money and crap. You take the money incentive out of the news and you just go to raw news, then I'll come back and pay attention. The only thing that bothered you about the new Leaf updates was, yeah, they did put a lot of stuff behind the amiibos, and not everybody was on board with the amiibos. I like the amiibo figures, but I wasn't about to buy 500 different amiibos. I don't think I ever owned more than 10. Especially at any given time, I've never had more than like maybe 2 amiibos at the same time. I would always buy the amiibos and like get rid of them. I did have all the Metroid amiibos for a short period, but then I fell on financial hard times and I had to sell all my amiibos to my friend. That still hurts a lot. I really wish I had my Metroid amiibos. But medical bills don't pay themselves, and we live in fucking trash heap United States, so it's either have my Metroid amiibos or don't get medicine. Shark. Please let me catch this shark. God damn it. Why is a shark so hard to catch? Man. Sad. It's funny because I don't remember the fish being this hard to catch in New Leaf. I don't know if I just got accustomed to how easy they are to catch in New Horizons or what, but I have a hard time catching them here. The sons of bitches. Yeah, I didn't have a choice. Ooh. I can get you an orange real easily. In a lot of ways, I fucked myself when it comes to like work and income and all that stuff. No, I want to move. I would go into it, but I think I've talked. I think I've exhausted myself talking. We'll go to it another day. I think I've talked about it somewhere on my channel before, like my financial situation and everything. But yeah, I didn't have a choice. Like I was scratching the bottom of the barrel. I sold him all my Metroid amiibos. He's working on the amiibos, and he had some of the Metroids, but he couldn't get, I think it was the Metroid amiibo and the Samus Returns set. So Samus in her like kneeling pose, and then the squishy Metroid one. I had those, and to get them on the internet now it would cost you an arm and a leg because they're out of print, and you have to rely on fucking scalper pieces of shit people, like on eBay. So I sold him those. I sold him my collector's edition of Prime Trilogy for the Switch. I had the steel book, and I had to let that go too. So that was kind of the end of an era for me. I said, after that, I'm not going to collect anything else. I got my Jurassic Park shelf back there, and if I collect anything from now on, it's just going to be Jurassic Park stuff. Like, at this point, I'm done with buying Nintendo merch. Though my last two acquisitions as far as like merch goes, I got this, but that was a more like, that was just from me. That was it's the Hallmark NES ornament. I got it so that I could always remember my roots of where I got my start. And then I was so enthralled with Minecraft. One of my favorite Minecraft moments was running across the mushroom cows. So I bought this online, and I like to have it on my desk. It symbolizes that no matter, like I've had some really rough years. I've been down in the dumps to the point where I needed like medical intervention, and I've had to go on like antidepressants and go to the doctor, and I've been suicidal off and on, of course, who isn't this day and age? Oh, you can't say that word on YouTube. Get fucked. I don't care anymore. I'm so goddamn sick of people not being able to use plain English on YouTube. But my darkest time in my entire life was 2016. That's the worst. That's the bottom of the barrel for me. Not just in my own personal life, but I think it was a particularly low point in human history. But one of the things that saved my life was Pokemon Go. I got out and played it every day. I was obsessed. I joined the local community's Facebook group. We were out raiding and trading, and Pokemon Go, for as terrible as Niantic is, they're a trash bag company. Pokemon Go saved my life. And here we are in 2023, 2024, and I'm starting to go downhill again. And I don't feel like streaming. I don't feel like doing content creation. I don't feel like playing games. I don't feel like getting out of bed. I'm going through the motions every day. I'm waking up super depressed. I'm getting to the point where I'm bedridden again. It feels like 2016 is about to repeat itself. Then, like an angel descending from the heavens, Minecraft comes into my life. I'd put it off for years and years and years and said, I became obsessed. So for the past few months, it has reinvigorated my desire to play video games. It has reignited my passion for content creation and streaming. That works in tandem with burying my head in the sand and getting away from political news and, like I said earlier, all the ragey quick clickbaity crap that is the news. Yeah, that's a perfect way of putting it. Depression is like fighting the final boss over and over and over and over and over every time. Yeah, it just never ends, does it? But yeah, I got the little Minecraft cow on my desk as a reminder that you can bounce back. You just got to find that one thing. But as far as like buying merch, the reason that I started this long-winded conversation, I spent $50 on this, and I'm not proud that I spent $50 on this, but I wanted one of these for years and years and years. Look what I finally got. I was able to get the Tyrantrum figure because I have sitting on my desk. I've had this T-Rex figure since 2007. It's from a company called Popo. It's a French company, I believe. And this was the most detailed T-Rex figure you could get at the time. And other than the T-Rex and the Tyrantrum, I spent $100 on this back in the day. And I got the Indominus from Jurassic World. She's very hefty, but she's not 100% screen accurate. It's missing the quills on the back of the neck and the back of the arm, but I love her. And I have a rather large desk. I literally have an office desk in my home. The company my dad works for was downsizing and then eventually just went under, but they were getting rid of a bunch of crap, and he's like, "You want this desk?" Yes. As a matter of fact, I do want that desk. But I try not to buy a lot of stuff. It doesn't help that I never have money, but I try not to buy a bunch of stuff. I know a lot of gamers will have like the Popo figures and stuff like that, and I don't like the Popo figures. I think they're kind of ugly. Yeah, that's been a hurdle in my life too. Is like people who don't suffer from depression, they don't treat it with the seriousness that it sometimes demands. They're like, "Why don't you just not feel sad?" Gee, I hadn't thought of that. They're like, "Why don't you do something to make yourself happy?" Clinical depression doesn't fucking work that way. It's not about doing things that makes you happy. That son of a bitch is there whether you want it to be. I don't want to be fucking depressed. Who the hell wants to be depressed? I don't know. It's definitely one of those either you get it or you don't things. And I feel like too many people don't get it. Because sometimes the amount of effort and energy that I have to burn to be able just to do normal tasks, it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's excruciating sometimes the links I have to go through to get myself up and motivated and doing. And even then, the repression's still there, even while you're doing stuff. You know, it's a son of a bitch. It's like blood pressure. It's a silent killer. High blood pressure. Yeah. Yeah. I let my pockets get full while I was bumping my gums. I did. We didn't catch any new fish while I was talking, did we? Crap. Now I got no choice but to go check. Did we ever catch the white butterfly? I know we caught the yellow one. God damn it. God damn it. Oh, god damn it. Yeah. We'll double check. Excuse me. I need a good photo editing program that's not Photoshop. Because all I use now is either Paint or Paint 3D. My problem is I don't A lot of programs, and this goes for video editing software too, they're just overly complicated, and I got a smooth brain. I don't do well with complicated. I the one thing I need as a content creator is I need to be able to take two images and put them together and then have that slice down the middle, you know? So it's like this, kinda. Basically every thumbnail on YouTube ever. I can't do that. None of the software I use can do that. So like today, which is rare, I don't usually stream like this, stream two games in the same day. But on the rare occasions that I streamed this two games in one stream, I like to put up, I always put up custom thumbnails on Twitch. I know most people don't, but I do because I'm extra like that. But I want to be able to take the thumbnail for Animal Crossing and the thumbnail for Pokemon and put them together like that. But I can't. I don't have any software that can do that. Damn it. Move. Wants me this dragonfly. Some bitch. Mow. Oh, I miss. I can't catch you if you're in the middle of the water. Okay. Gotcha. It's the little things, isn't it? Custom thumbnails just makes you feel better. It's like a bookend or the cover of a book. Who just wants to lay the naked pages out there? You got to put a cover on that thing, you know? I know this is totally random and has nothing to do with what we were talking about today, but are you a fan of dust covers on books? I am not. I hate them. Cheap, plastic, laminated book covers that never stay on. You're always fighting with it when you're trying to read. And when you take it off, it's always just lying there. So if you're trying to read somewhere in public to pass the time, you got to deal with having a place to put the stupid book cover. And then you got to worry about putting it back on. And every time you open the book, it just flat pops up. I hate them. They're also ugly and hideous a lot of times too, and can detract away from the book's actual content. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being extra, as the youngins say. I don't like those dust covers. I'm surprised Wikipedia hasn't hit me up yet this year. I gave them money back a few years ago, and now they'll send me an email from time to time asking for money. I give it to them every single time they ask. I love donating to Wikipedia. But I don't think they sent me an email this year asking for money. I need to send them some money. I did a I have a Patreon, and what I did with Patreon is January, February, March, I took that money and we donated it to the Trevor Project. And that was January, February, March. For April, May, and June, I wanted to donate our income to St. Jude's Children's Hospital research thingy. I'm just waiting for all the money to clear, and then I'm going to use that. But I told everybody what I wanted to do with the Patreon going forward, because I think there's only like 2-3 patrons on there. So it's literal pennies a month. It's not worth even sending to myself to use. I was thinking, well, it goes into my bank anyway, but like, what am I going to do with fucking pocket change that comes in from Patreon? What I want to do though is start letting it build up and then do like larger donations with it, because it makes me feel good that this nonsense bullshit that I'm doing here on Twitch and YouTube might actually help somebody. It makes me feel good. But if they don't, you know, if people in the Discord don't make that decision of like what do they want to donate to next, I might just default to Wikipedia from now on and keep trying to help Wikipedia the best I can, because it's it's unprecedented that we have something like Wikipedia. Honestly, the fact that it's not they can't be bought or paid for, the fact that they're ad free and they're like PBS at this point, it's important to me. I know people shit on Wikipedia, but I don't. I am a Wikipedia stan, and I always will be until something happens. I can't think of anything else we needed to do today. We'll do a little more fishing and then we'll call it a day. Get this stream broken up and edited into episodes and get them uploaded to YouTube. I have a Jurassic World video that went up about an hour ago. Hoping that people go check that out. I'm gonna have to come in here one day and strictly focus on the sharks. If you go down to Tortimer's Island, the sharks are way more frequent down there than they are here. Shit. Yeah, a lot of people have told me over the years that I should do my content more like the douche tubers do. A lot of quick cuts, a lot of editing, a lot of focusing on jokes and stuff. When the fuck do I ever tell a joke? I am people's background noise at best on a good day. I am what they put on in the background while they work on something. At best. I know what the hell this is. I know my worth. You raw dog my content. I'd help you. You never heard me. I know, right? I'm as funny as a wet carrot. I don't know. I might be a little happier, and if it weren't for the goddamn depression, I think my personality would probably be a lot better. But when you're just miserable all day, every day, it's like, I don't know. Putting on a happy face and a mask just doesn't feel genuine. That's why I don't bother. I have had people tell me I should do that. I've had a lot of people tell me, you should smile more. You should make jokes. You should do this. There's been a lot of like detractors on my content that tell me I need to do it this way or the other. And every time they tell me what to do, it's always like, be fake. Just. Oh, the new carrot. I got that from South Park. I got that from the episode where Kyle is, the girls make a list rating all the boys from the cutest to ugliest, but they manipulated the list because they wanted to date Clyde because his dad owns a shoe store, and they couldn't just simply say Clyde's the cutest. They had to manipulate the list. Kyle gets visited by the ghost of Abraham Lincoln, and Abraham Lincoln's like, look, Clyde is about as interesting as a wet carrot. It's a whole thing. It was funny as shit. Oh, that surprises me. My bank will be closed for Juneteenth. Good for them. I kind of felt my bank was a little on the conservative side, but I'm glad to see. I don't tell the internet publicly who I bank with, but good for them. Ooh, what is this? Fuck. What day is 19th? Oh, this Thursday. Flat. See, that's me too. Like, A lot of times I'll do a stream where there's nobody in here, so I don't talk as much. A lot of my streams for the last few years is just reactionary. I'll more along the lines react to something that's happening in the game, but there'll be long periods of just me not talking. So today is kind of an exception to the rule. Don't take today to be like my usual streams. Usually there's not really anybody in here and I'm talking to myself like a lunatic, but I do get that that's different from what you're saying. You're just not talkative in general, but I don't know. I still think there's value to that. I really do. I don't think that should stop you from streaming. I don't think that should stop you from doing it if you like it. There are plenty of people out there who don't talk constantly through their content, which is definitely still one of the criticisms that I've gotten over the years is like, you know, I think when it comes to YouTube specifically, people expect you to be talking nonstop. And when you stop talking, they want you to cut. Like, what do they call it? Jump cut to the next part of you talking. And I'm like, well, we're here for the game. You know, it's a let's play. You're supposed to be watching the gameplay. Why would I cut around that? Chief wants a new... Your content is more along the lines of like Minecraft and chill for sleep or study or something. See, that's what I'm going for too. That's more along the lines of what I like. I want people to just kind of like hang out with my content. Be next to it, not be up its ass. You know what I mean? Invent a catchphrase. How about we ask ChatGPT? Help me out here. Chief wants a catchphrase. What do we got? How about I say that a lot. Maybe let's see. I'll give Twitch a minute to catch up. Maybe you've got something better than I do. If not, we'll just go with good deal. That's something I say. Somebody tells me something, I'll say cool or neat or good deal. Cool. I don't have catchphrases. The only thing over the years on my channel that's been remotely close to being a catchphrase is fuck damn hell shit. I'll say that real fast. Fuck damn hell shit. I'm gonna go with it, I guess. We going with this? Speak now or forever hold your peace. This is the best I've got. The mail's here. I'm really hoping they add the GameCube Animal Crossing to Switch Online. Because if they do, I'm going to start a new playthrough of that. I'd done a playthrough of it in the past, but it was emulated. We're going to do like a more permanent playthrough if they add it. It'd be nice if they added it. Oh, you moved yourself to the bed. All right, that's fine. He'll live with good deal. It won't kill him. I'm not super creative. Of course, I say that, and later this evening I'll come up with 20 good ones off stream. I don't think there's anything left to do. Oh, that's right. You're across the pond. Damn, 11:40. It's only like 4:50. It's 4:15 for me in the afternoon, so it's. I still got like I still got sunlight and everything over here. Yeah, let's sell what's in our pockets and call it a day. Central Europe. I think I remember what country you're in. I just don't want to say unless you don't want to say. I don't want to say because you didn't say. But I remember, because I think you and I have followed one another since way back on the Twitter days. It still bothers me. Like, sometimes I'll be watching a YouTube video, and hell, it'll even be like a leftist YouTuber or a gay YouTuber or whatever. Somebody you wouldn't think would still be on Twitter, and they're still fucking on Twitter. And I'm like, how are you still on Nazi-occupied Twitter? It makes no sense. Make it make sense. Get the hell off Twitter. Every moment you spend on there, every ad you see is putting a goddamn penny in jackass's pocket. Okay, Germany, yeah. Because I remember I followed you on Twitter, and a lot of times you would post in German, and I wouldn't understand a word of it. Alrighty, well, I think that's gonna do it for me for today. The only thing I've done today outside of the computer is mow the lawn, so I do need to be about other stuff. Ooh, look at you, aren't you pretty? Who are you? Ooh, peacock butterfly. Okay, we weren't done after all. All right, we'll bring this butterfly to the museum, and then we'll call it a day. I want to get some Minecraft in as well. Yeah, English speakers always say Guten Tag, but we don't know any other phrases, you know. Yeah. I like German. German would be nice to learn. I've always wanted to learn German, Japanese, Spanish, and French, but when I tried, I was too dumb. Like, I was too dumb. Gesundheit? Yeah. Gesundheit? I guess I've never seen that word spelled out before in text. Yeah, a lot of times we will say Gesundheit. We're not even saying it correctly. Like, where did we get a T from? Unless that is how you pronounce it. I don't know. I live in the southern U.S. We mispronounce everything. We're not taught any better most of the time. See, that sounded weird. So that's the thing. We grew up saying it with a T. Like, where the hell did you get that T from? You know what I mean? Ooh, the sky's getting pretty dark. Look at that. Is it gonna rain? I mean, if it rains, that'd be a good opportunity to go catch the silicant. I don't think we've had a rainy day yet for this playthrough. I hear a frog. I'm just glad we got our permit. The first time I said it, yeah, I should have stuck with the first time. It would have sounded a lot less weird. All right, well, I'm gonna bounce, but thank you for raiding in, and thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me today. Oh, you do say the T in Gazoon. Okay. The more you know, I guess. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to head over on Twitch and follow these guys, please, and thank you. What is his username? Let's see, anti-anonymous _ user, and then Metroid Catcher. Give them a follow. But I'm gonna get this stuff edited and put up on YouTube. Animal Crossing will probably go up tonight. I'll let Pokemon go up tomorrow. All right, see you folks. Have a good night. Since it's almost midnight for you. It's almost tomorrow for you.